If you try to go into a castle or tower in the Great Hollow, your health will become halved, unless you obtain the favor of the Great Hollow by shattering this giant crystal on the map. You do that by finding 4 of these smaller crystals on the map, or 3 if you are solo, and interacting with them. The first 3 crystals you interact with will cause the giant crystal to crack, and the 4th will cause it to shatter. There are 21 locations on the map where a crystal can spawn. There are 15 on the surface of the map. Note that the game treats the one labeled 15 in this image as an underground crystal, but it is actually easier to get to from the surface, so I put it on the surface. And there are 6 in the underground. I put the 14th one here, even though it is considered to be on the surface, because it is easy to get to from the underground. There are 3 starting locations on this map where you will land in at. One is on the southwest, one is on the south, and one on the northeast. We'll cover the best routes for each starting location. I've excluded some of the harder crystals to keep the pathing simple, but be ready to adjust your route depending on where the night ends. First, let's look at the route if your starting area is southwest. You will start at the Kaiden Mercenaries. From here, the first crystal will be number 3, which is in the lowest part of the ruins, in the corner. There will be enemies guarding the crystal. I have cleared out the enemies for this video, so just be aware. Past the mercenary area, keep heading northwest and drop all the way down. You will find Crystal 3 hidden in the corner. Crystal 4 is at the top of this ruins, near the back, on the southwest side. There is a spirit spring downstairs that you could take to land right where it spawns. This ruins has a boss downstairs and upstairs, along with 2 more enemies that drop dormant powers and up to 2 chests with dormant powers. Crystal 4 didn't spawn on this run, but here is a screenshot of it. Crystal 5 is directly north from here. We are currently at the back of the ruins, and these stairs lead to a few chests that have a chance to drop a dormant power. On the north side of this ruins right here is a field boss. We keep going north and jump down to the lower level where we will find Crystal 5. After we jump down to the lower level, we can fight another field boss near Crystal 5. Unfortunately, Crystal 5 did not spawn for this run, but here is a screenshot. Crystal 6 is directly east from here. Crystal 7 is right above this area. You can get to it by jumping up the brown rocks and then the crystal rocks. And Crystal 8 is directly east. From here, we cross the Crystal Bridge and head southeast to get to Crystal 9. You will encounter a field boss on the way. Crystal 10 is to the east. Jump up the rocks and then go up the spirit spring to get to it. From here, Crystal 19 of the Underground is close by. If you jump back down the side you jumped up from and go left, you will see a spectral hawk tree. The crystal is to the left of the tree just below. It didn't spawn in this run, but here is the screenshot of where it is. And that pretty much concludes this route. You could go to the underground from here depending on the night circle. Next, let's look at the route from the south spawn. At the landing area, there is an enemy camp, and to the left is the very first crystal. This one also did not spawn this run, but you can see it in the screenshot shown. The second crystal is close by, to the west of here. From here on out, the route is exactly the same as the route from the southwest starting point, because that is where we are going next, where the Kaiser mercenaries are. You will notice that up ahead is the exact location where the other route started. So, instead of repeating the exact same route, I will just end this route here, as nothing is different to the other one from here on out. For the northeast starting point, there is a potential crystal spawn right at the landing point. After that, the next crystal is the crystal the other route ended, the one next to the cave entrance, and from there it is just the other route, but backwards. So it is crystals 11, then 10, then 9, and so forth. Note that after crystal 10, instead of going west, you could choose to go into the underground ruins if you wish. When you fly in for the northeast starting point, if that crystal number 11 has spawned, when you look to your right, you will see it close to the spectral hawk tree. From this crystal, it's just a matter of getting to crystal 10, which is where the other route ended. So once you get to crystal 10, you can just take the other route, but backwards, or you can go into the underground ruins and get the crystals there, which is what I will be showing next. For the underground crystals, starting from the spectral hawk tree we looked at earlier. As you are flying, you can see crystals 16 through 20 and also crystal 14. At the start, if you look to the left, you will be able to see the spawn points of crystals 19 and 20. And then look below you to the right to see the spawn point for crystal 18. As you head forward, to your right, you can see the spawn point for crystal 17. And then to the left, you can see where crystal 16 spawns. This is harder to see because this happens to be a Night Invader variant of the ruins, so everything is darker. And finally, you can see the spawn for crystal 14 right below that spectral hawk tree. This one is actually considered a surface crystal, not an underground crystal according to the game. This is the path I would take to get the crystals in the underground. Obviously skip the ones that are not there based on what you see when you are flying in. Crystal 19 is the very first one, which you can get before even going on the spectral hawk tree. Crystal 14 is the very last one we just saw that was below that other spectral hawk tree. We go straight to that if it is there. You can get to crystal 14 by going in this direction from the site of grace we land at. Then you can head back east toward crystal 16. And then north to crystal 17. Be careful in this area. I've died here so many times by simply falling off the map. past this fallen pillar, we can see Crystal 17. And finally, Crystal 18 is northeast on the ground level. And that is probably what I would do for routing. Now, there are some crystals not on the route, and I will show those now. On the surface, that would be Crystal 12 in the north and Crystals 13 and 15 near the middle. This is Crystal 12. There is a field boss near here, so be careful when getting this one. Crystal 13 is next to a formidable enemy near the giant crystal. You can get to it from the ground level by climbing crystal rocks or from this crystal pathway structure thing. And for Crystal 15, I will show how to get there from Crystal 6, which is this one. And for the underground, there is just Crystal 20 and 21 that we haven't seen yet. Crystal 20 is at the top level on the far side wall past the formidable enemy. And finally, Crystal 21 is at the very end of the ruins in the basement. Once we get to that one, we will have covered every possible crystal spawn on the map. Once you beat the Night 1 boss, if you still haven't found 4 crystals, the game will mark them on the map. Remember, Crystal 15 gets marked as underground, and Crystal 14 gets marked as surface by the game. By the way, as we run through here, I want to give a shout out to 2PZ, the creator of the Storm Control mod, which is what I am using to allow me to learn the crystal spawns and come up with the routes. As we get to the crystal, we can go to the left, as there is sometimes a teardrop scarab here, along with the chest. And there is the final crystal being guarded by a Crucible Knight, and more. In the far corner of the room, there is a spectral hawk tree at the bottom that will take us all the way back above where that merchant was, on top of the ruins. Once you interact, or as the game likes to call it, resonate with 4 of the crystals, or 3 if you are solo, then the giant crystal will shatter. There will be a red mark on the map indicating the location of the power. You can get to it from here. Now every time you use up your flasks, your ultimate will become fully charged, and also your health will not be halved when you enter a castle or tower. This also serves as a supercharged spirit spring. Let's check out that same castle we tried to enter at the very start of the video. Notice how the health bar now stays full and doesn't get cut in half. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching.